All righty. I think we are good to go. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us for today's a month of service presentation of our Money, Health, and Wealth Financial Capability Series. And today we're here to talk about budgeting and how to get control of living beyond your paycheck. My name is Nia Murray. I am the programs coordinator with Neighborhood Recovery Community Development Corporation, and we are one of the partners in the A Month of Service collaboration. Just to let you know that this presentation is being sponsored by our partner with Family Houston. And today we have Miss Monet Cheney, who will be providing the information for you today on budgeting. But to give you a brief little summary about a month of service, also included in our partnership, we have the City of Houston's Department of Neighborhoods, Lone Star Legal Aid, the Earl Carl Institute, Texas Legal Services Center, Houston Volunteer Lawyers, the Central Appraisal District, and the Harris County Tax Office. And together we make up, oh, I'm sorry, and our newly added Harris County Attorney's Office. And together we all make up a month of service. And basically, we are a collaboration of all of our organizations. We come together on a monthly basis and offer a variety of different workshops relative to asset building, community empowerment, the maintaining of generational wealth, and asset protection. We decided several years ago to collaborate and pool a lot of our initiatives together that we each separately do into one collaboration, so that way we can try and create a larger impact and reach as many people as we possibly can, considering that we do service the same community and have similar mission and similar goals in mind. So one of the initiatives of neighborhood recovery is the Money, Health, and Wealth, which is our financial capability series. Throughout that series, we have a variety of different workshops that relate to your relationship with money, with budgeting, with credit, with debt management, with savings goals, with anything related to finances and how finances impact your mental capabilities, how trying to teach young people about careers and jobs and finances at a younger age, and what that looks like for them as they transition into adulthood. So there's quite a few different workshops that we actually host, and we're going to go over a little bit more detail about some of those other workshops. But those are some of the things that are in our financial capability series. But the collaboration itself, again, we started doing these several years ago. And we used to actually go out into the community. We used to host the sessions in person, but of course, we had to transition to the virtual platform because of the pandemic. And we're slowly getting back out there in the neighborhood, but so it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of make that transition back. But we still also want to make sure that we are providing virtual information to the community as well. As we know, some people get busy; they're not able to take off work, so this allows them the opportunity to go back and watch recordings or watch the videos and receive the information that they couldn't receive once they were actually in person. So we do hope that you receive all the information today that you intend to receive. This is your opportunity to ask questions. We do have a professional financial coach who will again be providing you all with the information along with the list of other services that are available to you all at no charge through Family Houston. So do tap into that resource as it is available to the community as well. If you are joining us on the Zoom, please feel free to type your question into the chat, or if you'd like to make a comment, you have the opportunity to unmute yourself and chime in or ask a question at the end of the presentation as well. We do broadcast our this session on our social media platforms. We do broadcast live on YouTube. So if you are joining us on our through social media channels, then please feel free to type your question into the comment section, and we'll make sure that your question gets read aloud at the end there as well. Do note that, again, because this is a public platform, we do ask that you try to keep your questions to be as general as you possibly can. We keep in mind and would like to protect your privacy as best as we possibly can. So we ask that you don't divulge any personal detail or real specific information about your own individual circumstance, or nothing about where you live, or full names or anything like that, because again, we want to make sure that we protect your privacy as best we can. So but we do encourage you to reach out to our sponsor, Family Houston, if you do find yourself in need of any individual assistance. And again, she will be providing you with that information on how to contact them and to sign up for their services. So with that being said, thank you again for joining us this afternoon. We are going to have Ms. Cheney to go ahead and introduce herself, and then we will move right along into our presentation. So look forward to talking with you guys at the end as well. So Monet.
Hi, good evening. My name is Monet Cheney, and I'm a senior financial stability coach here with Family Houston, and we collaborate with NRCDC to provide financial education monthly for the most of the year. So today we will be talking about budgeting and just getting better control of your paycheck. And again, if there's any budgeting tools or things that you are currently using that's help you manage your income better and reach certain financial goals, feel free to share with the group, because I'm big on learning from each other. And sometimes there's things like techniques that I'm not aware of that might have worked for someone. So I definitely would like to learn some new ways of managing income as well. So to get started, some things that we're going to cover today is we're going to identify the importance of using a budget to manage monthly spending, and then identify ways to successfully track daily spending and create monthly spending plans. So many people, they live paycheck to paycheck and are struggling to cover their monthly expenses. So budgeting helps to take control of finances. It's going to help you reduce stress, and it's going to help you build financial security. And then this presentation will guide you through some effective budgeting techniques. So these are some ways that can help you be able to manage your money a lot better, as well as, again, reduce stress and build financial stability for the future. So first, let's talk about what is a budget plan, because a lot of times when we hear the word budget, we start to think, oh, I have to sacrifice things that I love to do. I have to it's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to have to review all my expenses, going to build some type of anxiety. But usually, I mean, a budget plan doesn't mean you have to necessarily sacrifice anything or change any of your spending habits. It's just basically is a plan to manage your money by monitoring your income and tracking your expenses. So basically, a budget is a way to monitor your cash flow. And then if there's financial goals that you're trying to reach and you need to make changes to how you spend your income, or if you need to increase income to meet certain goals, then because you've been monitoring that information and you have this data, you can use that information to help you make decisions on future financial goals that you're trying to reach. So when we're thinking about creating a budget plan, first we want to assess our financial situations, because we want to know where we're currently at, so we can decide on what things that we need to change in order to reach whatever financial goals we're trying to reach. And so this is where you're kind of gathering the data that you need in order to determine how you need to make changes within your spending, or just to be able to identify what your current cash flow looks like. So first, we want to track, you want to track your income and cash flow. So list all sources. So this can be salary or wages from your primary job, salary and wages from any side or second jobs that you have, any passive income that you're earning. Also, for those who are receiving any type of public benefits or Social Security, you're going to include that information as well. So income and cash flow is any cash money that you're receiving. And it doesn't matter where that income is coming from. If you're receiving that cash flow that you can then use towards any expenses, then you want to track that information. Next is going to track your expenses. So list all outgoing cash flow that is fixed expenses and variable expenses. So you want to track, honestly, you want to track every penny and where that money is going. The best way to get started, so we're in the first week of March. So if you're wanting to assess your financial situation, then you want to start with looking at how much income and how much your expenses were for February. Then that's going to help you determine where you're currently at. So then you can work towards any type of spending plans for the current month, March. Next, we want to identify our spending habits. So again, as we're going through our income and spending for February, we're going to use that information to identify what our spending habits are. And then also we're going to think about those spending habits and how do they affect our overall financial situation. So just say, for instance, if you feel like you're overspending on shopping or eating out, or if there's some other areas you feel that might be hindering you from reaching certain financial goals, it might be hindering you from being able to save money each month or pay debts off, then you want to look at those spending habits, understand how do they affect your overall financial situation, and then consider what are ways that you can change those habits in order to be in a better financial position. So when we're gathering information to determine our financial situation, as well as start a budget plan, we first want to look at our total amount of income. So, and this is cash money that you're receiving, whether it's electronically or physical cash. So we're going to look at our wage and salary, any public benefits, Social Security, retirement payments, child support, and then any other like miscellaneous cash income that we're receiving. And we want to make sure that we're writing down the exact amounts that we're receiving. So then that will help us determine how we're going to spend that money. So when we're using that income, that's what our expenses are. So when you're looking at your expenses, it's good to categorize them, because categorizing your expenses is going to help you determine some of your spending habits. Also, it's going to help you figure out what expenses you can make changes to if you need to. So of course, we're going to have all our home expenses. So this is any expenses that pertaining to your shelter. So rent, mortgage, rental insurance, home insurance, utility bills, home repair, storage. So anything that pertains to the actual home and your living situation. Then there's health care. So health care, any expenses pertaining to your health care, and as well as wellness. Then transportation costs, daily living. That's where you're going to have your daily spending. So groceries, eating out, shopping, childcare. So anything that are like daily anything that affects your daily living. Then we have entertainment expenses, savings, debt and obligations, and then miscellaneous expenses. So just anything that doesn't fit in these other categories, then you'll just create their own special category for those spending. So how do we develop a budget plan? So to develop the budget plan, you need to know, so calculate all monthly income, track your daily spending, and then determine how much you are spending on monthly bills. So again, if you're gonna start creating a monthly budget plan, then you have to first collect the data that you need to create the budget plan. So right now we're in March, so we're going to be looking at everything we did in February to help us determine how we want to spend in March. So if you're getting the same income or around the same income every month, then it's safe to say that in March, you're going to have the same income. So you're going to include the same income or an estimate of what you think your income is going to be if it varies from month to month. Then looking at your daily spending is going to help you be able to set spending amounts for different categories that vary from month to month. So like groceries, eating out, shopping, entertainment, those things. And then when you look at your monthly bills, if you're paying the same amount every month, then of course you're able to put that reoccurring amount on your budget sheet. But if it varies a little bit, something like your water bill, your gas, your electricity, those things vary. You should be able to look. I would look at all your bill statements to determine your monthly bills and to know like what that amount is going to be for the new month. So then you can put that information and know how much to expect on your monthly bills. So again, we're going to collect the information we need for our budget. So outside monthly spending or monthly reoccurring expenses and bills, then another way to determine your daily spending is tracking it on a daily basis. So tracking your spending daily is going to help you understand if you are using your money in line with your values and goals. So if you are creating a budget plan, if you are setting a certain amount that you want to spend in certain categories, then if you're paying attention to your transactions on a daily basis, then you can kind of catch yourself if you feel like you're going to overspend in a certain area. Also, it helps you uncover where you can make changes. So just say, for instance, you set a goal that you're only going to spend $200 eating out, and you're tracking daily and you're getting close to that $200 goal, then now you know you need to either stop spending and eating out, or you need to adjust the goal. So again, when you're tracking daily, even if you're not handwriting it, you can check your bank accounts on a daily basis to see where transactions are posting, as well as seeing where you're currently at when it comes to reaching certain spending goals that you set for yourself. Then like I said, either it can help you spend less money because you're going to notice like, hey, I'm getting too close to the amount that I plan to spend this month. So you're going to either like stop spending in that category until the next month, or you can adjust. Also, sometimes when you feel like when you're tracking your spending and you're looking at it either on a daily or weekly basis, it can make you not want to spend as much because again, you are aware that you're going to overspend. So it can help you spend less money. So if you look at Anthony's day-to-day spending, you can see where he's tracking every day how much he's spending in certain categories. Um, and as you can see, there's some things that he's charging as well as he's using either cash, debit, or check. And when you look at like the things, how he's spending his money, um, when you think of like, okay, he's eating out, he's shopping, but he's putting this on a credit card. So that's another thing to kind of think about, because sometimes we might be spending cash on certain things, but then we'll put other things on a credit card. And sometimes putting those things on a credit card might mean we don't have enough cash to cover those certain expenses. So again, that's another thing to pay attention to is uh, if we have enough income to cover all of our expenses to where we don't have to utilize credit as much, because credit is going to cost us more because he's going to have to pay this back in the next month. So he's going to have to make sure though that credit card payment fits into his cash spending. Is there any questions about what we've gone over so far?
Nothing in the chat just yet.
Okay. So I will add, so tracking your spending daily, if you are using like actual cash, it's good to write down your tracking or save receipts. A good strategy that I like is the cash envelope system. So with the cash envelope system, you you put whatever amount of cash into each envelope based on whatever that category is. So, of course, you'll have a category for your bills, you'll have a category for grocery, one for eating out, one for shopping, one for entertainment. And so you're going to determine how much you're going to spend in each category, and that's the amount of cash you put in that envelope. And so, a way you can track your spending doing the envelope system is every time you spend out of the envelope, you replace that cash with the receipt from that transaction, as well as write the date, the expense, and the amount on the outside of the envelope. So that way you're keeping track of your transactions with the cash that you're spending out of the envelope. It's going to help you determine if you are at risk of overspending in certain categories. Um, as well as it's giving you the information that you need to fill out a budget form, um, so you can be able to look at how much you spent across the entire month, your accurate spending across the entire month. Now, if you're utilizing a bank account, it's pretty simple because you can review all your transactions online or through a mobile app, and it makes it a lot easier for you to track your spending when you're utilizing an account. So next I'm going to go into like the different ways you can track your money. So monthly bank statements. So the monthly bank statements, you either can have them mailed to you or you can download them online through your bank's website. So this is a way for you to review your spending for an entire month. So you're able to review your total income that was deposited into your account, as well as all of your transactions. With this, it can't be used for daily tracking, but it can be used for you to gather the information you need to go over what your accurate income and spending was for that month to help you make decisions for the next month. The next option is online and mobile banking. So this is going to be the most convenient option because you can log onto the app on your phone or go online on your computer to review your transactions daily, weekly, or monthly. Some banks on their websites or mobile banking, they provide spending reports. So the bank itself has a system to categorize your transactions for you and let you know how much you're spending in each of those major categories. As well as some banks do allow you to set spending plans as well. So I would say definitely check your bank's website or mobile banking to see if they offer those services to you, because that's another great way to kind of keep yourself in check. So I know like my bank, it has a spending report. So sometimes throughout the month, I go in and check my spending report to see where I'm currently at when it comes to spending in categories like groceries and eating out and shopping, just so I can make sure I'm sticking to my goals. Um, and then, okay. Sorry, I got distracted by the person that got added. But utilizing those spending reports, checking it throughout the month again, is tracking everything for you so you don't have to do the work. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to control your income throughout the month. The next option is customer service number. So you can't call your bank's 1-800 number to hear current balances, latest transactions, deposits, as well as speak to a banker. If you don't like to, if you don't feel safe using online or mobile banking, then the customer service number is the next best option, just to check to see where your current balance is. Being up to date on where your balance is can kind of help with overspending as well. As well as just making sure that transactions are posting, and then making sure that there's no fraudulent transactions that are happening as well. And then also making checking on deposits to make sure that if there's any deposits that's been made, then you can make notations of those. And then if there's any issues or if you have questions, then you can speak with a banker about your account. Or if you recognize any fraudulent transactions, then you can speak with a banker about those issues. Lastly is tracking cash. So if you're someone who's mostly spending cash, then you want to manually track cash by recording in a notebook or using the envelope system that I spoke about earlier. There are some apps that you can use where you can manually track cash spending and track other spending as well. Um, Also, if you want to keep it digital, you can utilize your Notes app on your phone. If you're not a person that like to handwrite things down. And then another way is keeping track of your receipts. I know receipts can get lost, so it's good to, if you have like a little notebook or using the Notes app on your phone, to where you just record it right away, just in case you lose a receipt to that transaction. Okay, so once we gathered all our information, now we can create our spending plan. So here are some steps to fill in a spending plan. Spending plan is pretty simple. So there's usually two sections. So the one that I utilize that Nia is going to send after the presentation, it has a column for your budget amount or your goal amount that you want to spend for the month, and then it has a column for what your actual income and spending was. So with that, if you want to get started, again, you want to complete the past monthly amounts. So so right now in March, we want to look at February. So we want to write in our accurate income and spending that we received in February. And then from there, we can create a plan for March. And the plan for March is going to be based on any monthly bills that we know that occurs on a monthly basis. So you want to review your bill statements to see what your bill amounts are going to be for March. As far as things that vary throughout the month, that's not the same amount, then that's where you're going to determine what your goal amount will be for that month. And so you're going to set your spending plan. And with this, it kind of helps you see or get an idea whether or not you're going to go over for the month or if you're going to save money for the month. And when you're looking at your accurate spending from the month before, usually we tend to spend the same every month. Give or take, some months we might spend a little bit more or we might spend a little bit less depending on what's happening in that month. So we do have to account for any like special occasions that happening, holidays, um, any annual bills that might happen that month. If we're planning any like car repairs, things that don't occur on a monthly basis, we also got to keep in mind that we need to plan for those if we know that those things are going to happen in the new month. And when you do that, that kind of gives you an idea whether or not you're going to go over your income, so spend more than your income, or you're going to have money left over. If you're going to go over your income, then you can make adjustments to what your goal amounts are to make sure that either you break even or you end the month with additional income. So then once you complete that spending plan for March, then at the end of March, you're going to go over your accurate spending for March and accurate income. And then you're going to compare the two. So you're going to see what was, if you saved money in certain categories or if you overspent in certain categories. And then you're going to take the information from March and you're going to create a plan for April. So we're going to just keep doing the same thing consistently every single month. And usually after like 3 months or more, it's going to become a habit, as well as you're going to be able to have a lot of data that you can use to make future financial decisions. So, for example, if you're trying to buy a house, if you've been tracking your budget for, say, 6 months and you decide, hey, I want to buy a house, you already have an idea of what your spending habits look like, what your average spending look like. Now you can determine like, how much can I afford for a mortgage? How much is this amount is going to fit into my current spending, or do I need to make adjustments? Same thing, just say, for instance, if you want to buy a new car and you trying to decide if that car note is going to fit in with what your accurate spending looks like on a monthly basis. So it's going to help you be able to determine if you can afford those future expenses that you're wanting to incorporate into your normal month-to-month spending. So again, with our spending plan, we're going to figure out what our net income is. So that's going to be our total income that we receive for the month. And then we're going to get a total amount of our expenses. We're going to subtract our total expenses from our total income. And then that's going to give us our monthly net amount. And so that's where you determine whether or not you spent over your income. So usually if you spent over your income, depending on where you're currently at in your bank account, that means you might have overdraft or you spent under your income. So that means you have extra income left over, which will then roll over to the next month, or you break even. So break even is normally when we're saying that we're living paycheck to paycheck because you're spending exactly the same amount that you're getting in income. So whenever we have a situation where where the monthly net is negative, then that's when we start talking about where can we cut back on expenses, and or can we increase our income in order to be able to have a positive monthly net and have extra income for the month. Do we have any questions about spending plans or creating a spending plans? Or is there anything anyone wants to add?
There was a question. She says, I use a spreadsheet that lists all my expenses and then copy each month, listing by the day.
Yeah, so I would say I do the same thing. So I like that she says she copies it each month, because once you create your Excel spreadsheet, or let me say the workbook, once you create the workbook, then every month all you have to do is duplicate the previous month and then rename it for the new month. So I utilize Google Sheets. So for anybody who don't have access to Excel, you can utilize Google Sheets. And the spreadsheet I use, I got it from Vertex 42 is a website. Um, but like what I do, once I created the spreadsheet for the first month when I got started, all I do is duplicate that spreadsheet and create a new tab, and then and then name that tab whatever the current month is. So what ends up happening is, again, like I said, most people, we spend pretty much the same every single month. We have reoccurring bills that are usually the same amount, or even if the ones that fluctuate, like our utilities, sometimes they're pretty much around the same amount. So what happens is when you're just duplicating that spreadsheet and creating a new one, all of the information is already there. And before you duplicate it, put your accurate income and spending in first, then duplicate the spreadsheet. That way, when you go to the new spreadsheet for the new month, you can already see what the actual spending was for the previous month, and then you can start making adjustments to how you want to spend for that new month, and then you just go in and delete the accurate spending for the new month until the end of that month, and you can put the new information in and see how it matches up. But yes, once you get a workbook started on Excel or Google Sheets, all you have to do is just keep duplicating the same spreadsheet each month. So that means you don't have to do as much work every single month to create a new spreadsheet. And then again, when you're gathering the information that you need to put into your spreadsheet, if you're using a checking account, most banks have a spending report, or they have like a budgeting option on their website. So you can gather that information from their spending report. There's also budgeting apps that would categorize your spending for you. I will say those budgeting apps, they do come with a cost. I was trying to look for a free one today, but so far, all the ones I found, they have a monthly fee. but they do categorize your spending for you. So you just connect your bank account and they'll categorize it for you. Otherwise, I recommend going from the first day of the month of your transaction history and then going line by line down your transactions and then categorizing those transactions and then adding up that information to put into your spreadsheet. We have a question. Can you ask what the information on understanding your extra money income to save? What is the website to go to for the Google? So for the Google sheet, Vertex 42. It's a website. They have tons of different spreadsheets options. So the budget spreadsheet that I use, it came from that website. So they do have an option where you can download it as an Excel sheet or you can download it as a Google sheet. And I can put the link in the chat a little bit later.
I'll put it
But
in there. I'll put it in there,
okay.
and then that's the budget form and that spreadsheet or in the website is included on the link that I send out to when I
Yes.
send the recording. But I'll put it in the chat too.
Okay. Okay. So if we need to make adjustments to our spending, these are some tips to help cut unnecessary expenses. So first, we want to reduce non-essential spending. So this can mean limit dining out, non-essential shopping, and cancel unused subscriptions. A lot of times we join different we start different subscription accounts and then we no longer use them, but we just forget that they're there and they're still charging us. So when you're going through looking at your spending, you're going to recognize unused subscriptions and be able to go in and cancel those subscriptions. But definitely, if you need to cut spending, these are the first things that you're going to cut out is a non-essential spending. Next, we're going to start looking at what are some smart shopping strategies that we can do in order to save money on essential shopping, such as like groceries, personal supplies, wellness supplies, those things. So it could be buying in bulk. So if you have a membership to the stores that sell things in bulk, you can buy in bulk at a cheaper cost to where you're not buying certain like hygiene or personal supplies or household supplies and cleaning supplies on a monthly basis. The other thing is utilizing coupons. A lot of retailers, they have apps now that gives you access to different coupons, even coupons that are not available at the store. So utilizing like purchasing things when coupons are available, shopping certain sales. So just if it's certain sales where you can buy things in bulk, then you can shop certain sales, as well as comparing prices at different retailers. Um, so don't be afraid to like, if you're grocery shopping, maybe checking if there's multiple grocery stores in the same vicinity that are not too far from each other. Maybe checking different grocery stores to see who has certain things at cheaper prices, or even like retailers. checking like between Target or Walmart or like Walgreens or CVS or those different places, if it's certain products and things you need to buy, checking and seeing if what retailers have those products for a cheaper rate. Next is looking at our utilities and seeing what are ways that we can reduce our utility bills. I think it's important to review your utility bills every month. I know a lot of us, we might have auto pay set up, so it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But I think it's very important to actually look at your utility bills. Um, Even if you have an auto pay, just so you can determine if there's some options for you to reduce your consumption so you can have lower bills. Um, Also, with utilities like electricity, a lot of times we are in like a certain plan, and that plan is going to end at a certain period of time. So we want to make sure that we are aware when our contracts are going to end, so we can negotiate new rates. Especially with your utility bill, with your electricity bill, usually you have like a certain term that you're paying a certain rate. And when that contract ends, then your rate goes to a market rate, which is higher than whatever that discounted rate was under your contract. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of that so you can either look at other companies that might have cheaper rates or determine if the company that you're currently with have a cheaper rate and you can renew your contract without having to pay that higher market rate. Next, finding ways to reduce debts. So definitely paying off debts can free up a lot of income. So whether it's like you paid off a car loan, or you paid off a credit card, or any other like personal loans, furniture loans, things like that, that's always going to free up income. Definitely, if you have the ability to pay more towards debts that you have, that can help you get those debts paid off sooner. So then you can have that extra income to put towards other spending or to put towards your savings goals. Next is some ways that we can increase income. So if you're not able to fully reduce your spending, then the next option is finding ways to increase income. So we can increase income through creating side hustles. So this could be freelancing, it can be selling products online, offering services, or doing like ride share, or those convenience services like DoorDash, or I know they have like some grocery shopping ones as well. Those are all good ways that you can generate some additional income without being obligated to a particular company, because usually these options give you the flexibility to work around your primary job. Also, a side hustle can give you an opportunity to start a small business as well. If you're selling or offering, selling products or offering services. Next, you can ask for a raise or change jobs. So research the industry salaries and present your value to your company. So if you feel like you're being underpaid, you can always talk to your supervisors about options to get a raise. Now I know you do have to be careful with this, but I would just do some research on the best way to talk to a company about increasing your salary. Or the other option is considering higher paying employment. Um, within your current company. So you might work somewhere that might have available positions where you can earn a higher income, or with the new company. So just looking at new opportunities elsewhere. Also, if you're looking to change jobs or careers, you can look into some free training or free certifications, as well as free certification that will help you um, be able to present to your employer that you deserve an increase in salary. So that's the other thing. Like there's like online courses you can take like through Coursera. I know like Family Houston in collaboration with United Way and Verizon, we have a website where you can take some free certificate trainings so you can upskill yourself. So learning new skills or bettering skills that you already have. Sometimes the community colleges might have grants to cover certain career trainings for free. As you upskill yourself, learn new skills, or get certifications within the industry that you're already in, that can mean that you can earn more money because you're adding value to yourself as a employee. Last is creating passive income. So this can be through investing, it can be through having rental properties, or it could be through monetizing any skills that you have. So I know I talked about some of these budgeting tools already, but I just want to go into a little bit more about some budgeting tools that you can have in order to track your income and spending and make plans each month. So first there's a spreadsheet. So we talked about Excel and Google Sheets. And so Nia, she's gonna send the spreadsheet that I use for my clients. She's gonna send that after the presentation along with the recording from today. Um, if that spreadsheet don't work for you, vertex42.com, they have other spreadsheets that you can use to track your income and spending and create spending plans. You can also find some budget sheets on surprisingly on Etsy. There are people who sell budget spreadsheets on Etsy that you can purchase, as well as you can go on Pinterest to find spreadsheets that either to purchase or they might be free downloads. So there's different places that you can find spreadsheets that meet your particular needs. As well as Excel and Google Sheets, they do have templates within their applications that you can utilize. If you're a person that like to journal, I personally don't like to journal. I try using budget journals, but I know there are people who love to handwrite and journal things. So budget journals are great. And one thing I like about budget journals, not only do they give you the tools to track your income and spending and set plans for the month, they give you little prompts. So they give you little prompts to get you thinking about your financial goals, as well as like what your goals are for the month, what your goals are for the year. Also, they give you prompts to get you thinking about like your spending habits and things like that. Um, There's a lot of different budget journals available. You can find them at different stores. I know I've seen them at Walmart, Target, over in the office supply area. I feel like I've seen some options at Michael's before. Uh, you could probably check Hobby Lobby too and see, like, if you go over where like the scrapbooking area, you can see if they have like budget journals over there. And then of course Amazon. Amazon got tons of options that you can check out. They also have the budget journals that does the envelope system. So you can do like an envelope system with this budget journal. They have some where you can keep track of your receipts. So they have like little pockets where you can put your receipts and bills and things like that. So there's tons of different options at different price points. They do have a lot of affordable options as well that you can find. Next is the budgeting apps. Um, so there's a lot of different budgeting apps that are currently available. Um, the reason why I don't give recommendations to some, because my favorite one was mint.com, but mint.com don't exist anymore. That was the option that was free. And it pretty much met most people needs. But right now, a lot of the budgeting apps have a fee. Um, so I would definitely say you can go online and ask Google to do a comparison for you to let you know like what budgeting apps are a good investment, as well as compare their pricing. You could probably also use Chat GPT to also compare budgeting apps for you to let you know what are the best options, most affordable options. But I was doing some research today, and I think the cheapest one I saw was $3 a month. But that was for like a special, but then the regular month was $6. I think that was the cheapest I saw. Next, I mentioned your online banking and mobile banking apps. Um, so you can check your bank and see if they have budgeting tools that you can utilize that track your spending for you and categorize it for you. Because the biggest thing you want is something that would categorize your spending for you, so you don't have to do the work going line by line through your transaction history, adding everything up. So I know that there's several banks that already offer this service. Um, and if you don't know how to find it on your mobile app or on the website, you can always contact your bank and they can kind of help you figure out where to find that tool. Or usually on the website, there's a search tool where you can search for it. But definitely check with your bank, because what that does is that prevents you from having to use a third party option that links to your bank account. So if you don't feel comfortable using a budgeting app that links to your bank account, then the safest option is seeing if your bank offer a budgeting tool. And then lastly, the envelope system. So the envelope system, again, you have multiple envelopes. Each envelope is a different category. And you put cash money into that envelope based on what your spending goal is for that particular category. Again, the envelopes, you can use it to track your spending on the outside of the envelope. So as you spend money out of that envelope, then you want to write down that expense, the date, the expense, and the amount. So then at the end of the month, you can add up all of your spending and then put that into your monthly categories. Again, there's budget journals on Amazon that you can purchase that has like reusable envelopes, as well as it has tracking sheets too. So if you don't want to use if you don't want to use just like regular envelopes, you could go on Amazon and look for like the journal option. Another thing you can do with the envelope system, um, you can use it as a way to keep track of your receipts. So as you're spending in certain categories, you're keeping your receipts and then putting those receipts in the envelope instead of having cash in it. And then still on the same thing, you're tracking your expenses on the outside of the envelope to make sure that you're not overspending in that particular category. So the envelope system can be a good way to keep track of receipts. And Nia, don't you have another little system where they can keep track of their receipts too for the end
Yeah,
of the month?
that's our what we call our 30-day bag challenge. So we have like a budgeting bag, copy of mine, so I'll send. Okay, yeah. So that's where if you have like we have like a customized bag that actually gives you the instructions on how to save and kind of track your spending. So basically, you put all of your receipts in the plastic envelope or plastic bag envelope, whatever it is that you choose. At the end of your 30 days, you actually go back and look at all the receipts and everything that you've actually spent for the entire 30 days. So that way you can kind of look and see where exactly it is that you're spending your money. Because a lot of times we kind of, get out and you swipe and you tapping with your phone and all that kinds of stuff, or everything's kind of like automatically drafted and you're not really paying attention because you're just so used to the routine and not paying attention to what you're actually spending and how often you're actually spending your money on that. So it just to kind of get you a little bit mindful and kind of let you know of where and how you can then kind of cut back on your expenses or reduce some of your spending. So if you see in your budget bag that you spent $200 on lunch, then instead of you then being shopping or spending money on lunch every day while you're at work, then instead of 5 days a week, maybe go 2 days a week and then take that additional money that you would spend on lunch and put it on something else. Or if you see that you're spending money on Starbucks every day, buy the tea and make it yourself, and see how much you could then potentially save, doing that way. But it's just to kind of keep you aware, so that you can see where and how you're spending your money and figure out ways to kind of cut back. And then figure out what you want to do with the extra money. Once you realize that you started kind of putting back and saving and putting that money away, what do you want to do with it? Where do you want it to go? What would be the purpose? What's your goal then at that point?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Nia. Like, if you determine that you're going to cut back on spending in a certain category, then you need to give that money a purpose because otherwise it's just going to get spent somewhere else.
Hmm.
So just say, for instance, you decide like, okay, I'm going to cut back on eating out, but then you increase your shopping because you have that extra income
Like, oh, where'd
because
this
you
money
wasn't
come from?
eating
Where'd this money come from? I must didn't need it for anything, so I'll go ahead
right.
and treat
And
myself.
I'm like, in Houston, it's expensive to eat out. Even going to a fast food restaurant is expensive now.
Yeah, the,
So,
no more meal deals. Everything is like, 15, 18, $20 even for fast food. Yeah.
right. So, I agree with Nia. If you're going to cut back on certain spending, then you need to give that money a purpose. And then the purpose needs to fit whatever your financial goal is. So if it's savings, then you want to put that money into savings right away. So as soon as you get paid, if you know that you cut your eating out budget from $400 to $300, immediately when you get paid, that $100 should go into a savings account. So then all you have left in your account is the $300 to put towards eating out. So yeah, anytime you cut things out, you want to make sure that you add up what that amount is and then put that away into savings so it don't go anywhere else. So I see that um, there was a question. What was the info given on saving money to buy a car? Can we get I think what I was saying when I was speaking about purchasing a vehicle, I was speaking in like in terms like if you are creating like if you're tracking your income and spend and expenses on a monthly basis, then it gives you the information you need to determine if you can afford a certain car note. So just say, for instance, you've been tracking your accurate income and spending for 6 months, and you currently don't have a car note, but you decide like, hey, I need to buy a new car. So you try to figure out, well, how much can I afford for a car note? And then just say, for instance, if you have to switch from liability insurance to full coverage, how much can I afford for full coverage insurance? And because you've been tracking that information for months, then that can kind of help you decide on like, okay, this car note is going to fit, this car note insurance is going to fit in how I currently spend money. Um, Same thing with if you're trying to purchase a home, or just say if you want to move to a new apartment, you're trying to figure out if that rent amount is going to, or that mortgage amount is going to fit in how you are currently spending. Then because you've been tracking that accurate information, it can help you really determine like what you can actually afford. And trust me, I've used it for myself, and it was super helpful in me deciding on whether or not, because I was living with my twin sister for a few years. And so we were like, well, we want to split up again. So because I had been tracking my accurate income and spending for, I believe, like a year or two before we split up, I was able to like research to see what rent prices was available, and then include that in what my current spending looks like to determine if it was something that was feasible for me to do. As well as not only was I tracking my spending and income, I was also tracking my debts. So I also knew in real time what debts were about to be paid off, meaning I was going to have some extra income. So I knew like, okay, well, these debts are going to be paid off. I'm going to have this extra income. So this extra income, again, when you get that extra income, you need to give it a purpose. Otherwise, it's going to go to unnecessary spending. Um, so because I was tracking my debt payments as well, and I can see when things were going to be paid off, then I was able to give that money purpose before it actually happened. Okay, I heard, is it best to get monthly spending under control before attacking debt? I would say yes. So you do want to look at you do want to get your spending under control, because that will let you determine how much extra income you have to put towards paying off a debt. So, for instance, if you're wanting to do, and we're going to talk about this in a future presentation where we talk about debt management and debt payoff plans. Um, so if you are wanting to do a debt payoff plan where you want to put extra income towards paying off a debt, then you really want to look at your budget first. So you do want to You do want to see what your current income and spending look like. You do want to see if there's some expenses that you can cut back on. So say for instance, if you have been shopping a lot or eating out a lot, you can reduce those expenses, and then that extra income can go towards paying off a debt quicker. Again, you're going to give that extra income a new purpose. Also, if you pay off one debt, then you can use that the income from that debt to pay off the next debt. So I would definitely say get your spending under control first so you can see where that extra income is, and then you can start putting that extra income towards attacking a debt. Now, Rachel, I see Rachel has said some things that she's actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'll create a copy. So are you saying that you're going to create a copy of your spreadsheet to send?
The plan, or like how it's laid out, or like the layout of it.
Okay, of her
I
budget
think,
plan.
yeah.
Okay. So when you say you divide yours by week, is that meaning that you're looking at your spending on a weekly basis?
Looks like it.
Okay. And then I like that Rachel says that she sits down on a Saturday to go over her spending and income and fill out her spreadsheet.
Yes.
That's a great way. If you just sitting at home, you're not doing anything, you just sitting on the couch watching TV. You could also be watching TV and working on your budgeting at the same time.
Yep.
Um,
She says wait until the end of the month is a bit too much.
yes,
Do it once a month.
yeah, so yeah, if you don't want to wait to have to gather all that information once a month, then weekly tracking is great because that kind of gives you an opportunity to get some of that monthly information in before the end of the month. I personally like every time a monthly bill comes out, I like to go and record that information on my budget sheet. So then at the end of the month, the only things I'm looking at are the things that vary. So like gas for my car, groceries, eating out, shopping. Then those are the things that I look at the end of the month because you definitely want to wait till the end of the month for all of that information to be available to you. But reoccurring monthly expenses, I like to record those throughout the month. So that's like less information that I have to gather at the end of the month. Also, you can utilize weekly trackers. So I do have a budget spreadsheet that I put a weekly tracker on. So then you can add up your daily spending weekly, and so then by the end of the month, you don't have to sit and add up all of that information. You're adding it up each week. And then the spreadsheet will calculate what your total is for the month. So I do have a spreadsheet where I added that tracker, as well as I added a debt and asset tracker so you can track how much you're putting into your savings, where your total balances are, as well as track like your debt payments and debt balances. Because again, when you're seeing that information, then that again can help you determine if you want to put more money towards a debt, as well as you're seeing in real time that debt balance reducing. Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to I don't know why this I was clicking on it, it wasn't moving. Okay, so here's some best practices for doing your budget every month. First we want to complete our budget spreadsheet using our bank statement or transaction history. As I mentioned before, your bank statement and your transaction history are going to give you the accurate information that you need. With your bank statement, again, you'll be waiting to the end of the month, but with your transaction history, that's where you can do some weekly tracking or daily tracking to kind of like reduce the amount of information you have to do at the end of the month. Next, if you use mostly cash, you want to track your spending by saving receipts, writing down your spending at the time of the transaction. And the reason why we do it at the time of the transaction, that's so we don't forget. Um, and using your bill statement. So when you're going to pay monthly bills, then you're going to track that information by looking at your bill statements. Next, pick one day of the month, preferably the first or last day, to go over your spending for the last month and create a plan for the upcoming month. When you're utilizing your checking account, I would pick a date where all the transactions have posted, because sometimes if the information is still pending, it might not be available to you to see. Also, I noticed like with my bank, when they categorize spending, they only categorize the spending that have posted already. So if it's still pending, it's not going to be included. So then you will have to go back anyway to get that information. So I would definitely say pick a day that if all your expenses have posted to your account, so you can have that information available to you. And then lastly, do weekly check-ins to see if you're sticking to your plan and make adjustments if needed. Like Rachel says, she does weekly check-ins because that helps her not have to do so much once a month. And again, it kind of helps you stay in control as well as make any adjustments that you need to make to your budget plan. Okay, now that we have the tools to budget, here are some key takeaways. Budgeting is going to give you control over your finances. Like I said before, because I was doing this on a monthly basis for like a year or two, it helped me be able to pay some debts off. It also helped me be able to determine whether or not I can bring in new expenses, as well as it does help you decide on where can you save. Um, Next, it does help you cut unnecessary expenses and explore additional income sources. So when you're looking at that information, if you feel like you're overspending in certain areas, then you're going to catch that and be able to get in more control, or you can determine if you need to bring in additional income. Uh, it does help you manage your debts wisely as well as build an emergency fund. So, first of all, if you're tracking your income and expenses, you're definitely going to be tracking your debt payments as well. So this is going to help you ensure that you're making on-time payments, as well as if you're trying to pay debts off quicker, it would help you be able to find the additional money to put towards those debts. So you can, again, pay debts off quicker, save on interest, as well as making sure that you're making on-time payments. So then that's going to help you build a better credit score and a better credit history. As well as it's going to help you determine whether or not you're able to take on new debts. So again, if you're trying to purchase a house or a car, or you're looking to get like for our young people, they're looking to get a credit card or something like that, then it's going to help you determine whether or not you can take on new debts. And then secondly, building an emergency funds or a savings fund for any other purposes. So you're able to determine how much extra savings. How much you're spending, even into your savings account. And then lastly, staying consistent and adjusting as needed. So the more consistent you are with doing this every month, um, the more information you're gathering about your financial situation, that you can utilize to make wise financial decisions. And then again, if there's any adjustments that need to be made, then you can make those adjustments, because since you know this information about what your finances look like, then you're able to make those adjustments. Able to be able to manage those changes and make those adjustments. Do we have any other questions or comments before I go into Family Houston Services?
I don't see, is there a workbook that comes along with the in-service?
Is that with the financial coaching?
Is
And I
that
think
for
there
the,
was a question, are there individual sessions
yes,
available? Yeah, so I'll go ahead and go into Family Houston Services. Okay. So here's my contact information. So Family Houston, we do offer free financial coaching and career coaching services. With the financial coaching, we can help you go over your monthly income expending and create budget plans for the month, as well as hold you accountable to going over your monthly budget every month. So I do have clients I meet with every month. We just go over their accurate spending, and then we discuss like what plans they're going to set for the next month. Because for some reason, meeting with a financial coach, they're going to make sure that it's getting done, as well as it's creating that consistency they need to budget every month. Also, as a client, I utilize an Excel spreadsheet. Um, so I'm updating that spreadsheet every month with the budget information that we're discussing. And then I email that to my clients. So I can help you create a workbook that you can utilize. So either we can fill it out together, or you can fill it out on your own and email it to me, and then we can go over it. So whatever works best for the client. But I can help you create those budget workbooks and spreadsheets for you to use, as well as create that consistency. Um, and again, that service is free. The service is available from ages 14 and up. We do have a youth program, our Youth on the Move program. And so with the Youth on the Move program, that's age 14 to 24. So we are teaching teens and young adults how to budget as well. So whether it's any income that they're earning from like their first part-time job, or if they have a small business or allowance. We're also teaching them and talking to them about managing their income as well as showing them how to utilize budgeting tools. We also help them with their career development, entrepreneurship, and we have a micro grant that the youth program they can apply to, as well as some workforce support gift cards. So if they're looking for work, we can help them with money for gas, for interviews, to get to work, interviewing attire, work attire, as long as it's a work expense. Um, and then for our adults, so if you're 25 and older, we do, again, the free one-on-one financial and career coaching. So we can help you create the budget plans, debt management plans, savings goals. If you're trying to purchase a house or car, we can help you with getting credit ready for those things. As well as we're here to be like your accountability person, to hold you accountable to the things that you need to do to reach your financial goals. At Family Houston, we also have mental health services that work on a sliding scale, because we do try to make it affordable. So if you are needing those services for yourself or your family, then we have options to make sure that those sessions can fit into your budget, as well as we have resource supports. So our resource supports, if you're unable to meet certain basic needs, then they help you find resources to cover those expenses. As well as we have a food pantry with food items, shelf food items, cleaning supplies, and some personal hygiene products. We are available Monday through Friday between 8 and 5. We offer virtual sessions via Zoom, or you can do in person. We have offices. I'm at the central location, so I'm in central Houston, off of Durham and Memorial, kind of where Shepherd Durham merges together. At Crosses Memorial Drive. So that's where our central office is located. We have an office in Bay Area. So we have a coach out in the Clear Lake area. We have a coach in Fort Bend, and we have a coach in Brookshire that covers like Katy and the Waller area. Usually we're working between 8 and 5. Sometimes we might have late appointments. We might have like a 5 to 6, depending on the coach and their schedule. And then my contact information, if you would like to reach out to me to schedule, you can contact me via my cell at 832-987-2023. And you can call or text. And then my email is mchaney@familyhouston.org. So mcheney@familyhouston.org. As well as you can go to familyhouston.org if you want some more information about our services, to schedule an appointment, or if you have kids that you want to sign up for the youth program, they can complete the intake form for the youth program on our website as well. That's
And
all
we're going to
I
be
have.
and we're going to be going over that session in detail next month. The jobs and career coaching
Yes.
and financing session, that one's on the schedule for Wednesday, April the 1st. So if you guys have any, children, nieces, nephews, or whatever, that may or may not be graduating, or that may or may not be interested in entrepreneurship, or not, kind of sure of kind of which direction that they want to go into, or just kind of want to introduce them to becoming mindful about money and finances and how they work, then that'll be a great session for you to invite those youth to actually come to get them information as well. Uh, okay. All right. All right, Ms. Adele, we gotta go then. I want to just kind of wrap up by saying that a lot of times we don't when it comes to budgeting and trying to save and managing your debt, we don't allow ourselves a little bit of grace when it comes to setting up your plans and your goals, and to remind you to kind of be realistic about your goals, about what you want to save. If you know that you have a hard time saving, that you spend every dime that you get, and you shop every weekend, and you're getting Amazon packages every day, then don't set yourself up to be disappointed with saying, setting up a goal or a budget, that you're gonna save $500 a week or $500 a month. Start out a little bit slow and then increase your goal or make adjustments as you see fit. And then a lot of times, things come up. You may not make your budget this one particular time, or at the end of this 30 days or whatever, you may not reach your savings goal or whatever it is that you may have. So just allow yourself to make adjustments. Or if you really thought you had a pretty good plan, but you realize, yeah, I'm still kind of coming up short just a little bit at the end of the month, then it's okay. Make your adjustments as you see or as you need to as you go along. So don't be down on yourself and hard on yourself. And I always try to tell people that adjusting your finances and your habits and things like that is kind of like going on a financial diet, or if you know that you just had a kid and you need to get rid of the baby weight. It took 9 months to get to be that size. So don't think it's going to take 9 minutes to shrink and get back down to that size again. You know what I mean? So you develop those habits over a period of time. So it's going to take some adjusting and some real dedication to try to make those goals happen. So just do allow yourself that grace. That's all I ask that you guys to do that, and kind of not be as stern or as strict or as hard on yourselves when you don't make a particular goal or a budget. And it's okay to treat yourself too when you do a good job. Like, hey, I did all right this month. You know what? I think I might go to lunch. It's okay. It's fine. Where I might go treat myself to a movie or something like that or whatever. It's a great opportunity for you to make sure that you reward yourself whenever you make your certain goals. So budget for that too. But budget for your treat. My dad always say, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. So make sure you treat yourself whenever you make your particular goal that you want to do. So um, we want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. We do hope that you come back. We are here the first Wednesday of each month from 4 to 6 with a various topic. I'll send you out you guys the updated schedule. The May presentation about how finances impact your mental health will probably be the only one where we'll switch locations. That we're hoping to have that one at the Family Houston office on that day. Will be in person over there, but I'll send you guys out the schedule for that, or keep you aware of when we make those adjustments to the location. But if anybody wants any of those savings bags or those 30-day bags to challenge yourself, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to send out some to you guys. Just let me know. My contact information will be, of course, on the email that I send out to everybody that registered. You will receive a copy of this recording. Any of the resources, the links that Monet made reference to, her contact information will all be included on the email that gets sent out. Also, if you're watching on social media, feel free to contact our office, and I'll be more than happy to send that information to you all as well. Just provide me with an email address, and I'll make sure that it gets sent out to you. So just let me know. There won't be a problem. So again, I want to thank you all for joining us. We hope that you all come back and join us again in the future. Oh, for any homeowners out there that we have, Okay, I'll make sure that you get some, Ms. Dell. For any of the homeowners out there, or family members that you guys know that are homeowners, we are having a transfer on death deed clinic. It's going to be a two-part session. The first one is going to be next Wednesday from 9 to 11 at the Trinity Gardens Church of Christ. The transfer on death deed is a very important document that is an alternative to having a will, and it helps you with giving your heirs, your beneficiaries, your ownership interest in whatever real property that you own without having to go through the probate process. There's an extremely cost effective way to make sure that you don't lose your generational wealth and that you preserve that legacy that you're starting to build, that you're starting to create, and make sure that it gets passed along to the person that you intend for it to go to. So a lot of folks think that because, oh, I was married and or that was my mom or my dad or whatever, and they just automatically assume it's supposed to just transition by itself, and it does not. Even though you may be legally entitled, it does not just automatically transfer. There are other steps and processes that need to be done in the event you don't have such a plan that could cost your family thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to actually, transition that property over to your rightful heirs. So please go to our website and register for that. We will have the opportunity on March the 21st, after you attend this session on March the 11th, to come in to have an attorney to do a brief consultation, to review your form with you, to make sure that it's actually completed. We'll have notary services available, and we will also be covering the filing fees for those folks that do income qualify, to make sure that it actually gets filed at the county clerk's office where the property is actually located. So for more information, please reach out to me for that. But I'll include that information on the email that goes out to you all as well. And for those online, feel free to contact me if you want more information about that as well. But I do want to thank you, Monet, again, and Family Houston. We've been doing these sessions with you guys for at least the last 10 years or so, if not longer than that, trying to get as much information out as we can, making sure that people know that Family Houston is available, that the services are there, they are for free. Take advantage. So thank y'all very much. We hope you all have a wonderful remainder of your day. You all take care of yourselves, you stay safe, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.